Am I audible and also visible now?
Yes, Saurav.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So we will start with the table topic section for the benefit of everyone. I know all of you are Toastmasters here, so I don't really need to explain what table topics is. But since we follow the structure, a table topic is a section where we have 1 to 2 minutes of an opportunity to do public speaking, impromptu speaking. Now, why do we need impromptu speaking? We need impromptu speaking to save our jobs, to save our relationships, right? For example, you come back late from the party in the night and your spouse is standing at the door, and where were you? Your ability to cook up the right excuse or the right answer would actually save your marriage or your back. Or if you're late to office and your boss asks, why are you coming in now? You have to give a response which is sellable. Otherwise, you have that incident of the 4 flat tires. Anyone knows the incident of the flat tire? No? So there are 4 friends and they were a part of one team. And, their manager called them up saying that, where are you? Each of them separately. And each of them said, we have a flat tire. Then he called them up again saying that, which tire? And all of them gave a different answer. Right? Apparently, all of them were coming together. So that you don't land in situations like this, you need to be better at table topics. Hence, I'm here, your survival guide. So who's going to come first? The first speaker for today for table topics. Shall we pick up someone from online? We can do that. Okay. I see Bitasta. Would you want to take the first topic?
Yes.
Okay. So the way I have got the topics today is that I will be giving you 2 words. These words are connected by or, which essentially means you have to take a stand for one of the words, right? So for instance, as an example, this is not a topic, T-mod or G, right? If I call, say, Nagesh, or I call Shiva and say T-mod or G, so they have to take a stand. Which role is better, the T-mod's role or the G's role? Again, this is just an example. That's not your topic with us. Your topic is innovation or inclusion. Innovation or inclusion.
Thank you. It's a very difficult choice because we do need both innovation as well as inclusion. I believe we need to include, we need to be more inclusive, be it workplace, be it in a society, inclusive of different people from different background. Then only we will get collective, innovative ideas. And with that, we can grow. So it comes together and then only it will be harmonious. If I have to give an example, I will give one of my personal experience in my current workplace. I have teachers, facilitators from different backgrounds. Somebody is from the Northeast, somebody is from South, somebody is from West. And each one of them can contribute to different kind of ideas, innovative ideas to engage our children at our center. And with that, the children also got to know different languages, different culture, different ways of being social. And that is how we have created a harmonious, symbiotic atmosphere in our workplace. And that is how we have grown and will grow in future. So not either or, but together, one by another, we will be united. Thank you. Over to you.
Very good attempt. And it's I forgot to mention it's a 1 to 2 minute session. So at 1 minute the green card will come up, at 1 minute 30 seconds the yellow card, and at 2 minutes the red card. What Bitasta did is what exactly I don't want you to do after this though. You will not pick up both the options. You will not try to use a joinder of and. The operative or has been used for a reason. You have to take sides here. Okay. So there is no nota option here or all of the above option here. You have to take sides. Okay. So who's going to come from the in-person audience? Yes, please. What's your,
Dilip.
okay, Dilip, your topic is risks or returns? Risks or returns?
Okay. Good morning, friends. Risks or returns? I would prefer risks because here I have to take a side because if you ask me straight away, I would say risk. Why? Because when we take risk means we are trying something. So we are starting something. That's a whole fun is about. Even though you want to reach somewhere, you have to start somewhere and you have to take risk. For example, if I take myself, so even in Toastmasters, even when I first came in, I was taking a lot of risk coming and speaking in this podium. I would have been not doing this if I would have not trying that. So I took a risk in terms of facing people and taking the fear away to speak to a public. And that was feedback even I had in my office also, to give a status report, come and talk to the public and lead a team. So that's where I took the risk. So if you ask me to go to the other side, return, yes, absolutely. I can't avoid it. So I really want to contradict what you're asking. He's saying this. If you take a risk, definitely you have a return. At least in terms of your learning, it's okay, you have learning if you're not being successful. So friends, take risk. Don't look at the return straight away.
Okay, so someone from the online space. Okay, Pranav has raised his hand. Pranav, you want to take the next topic, but Pranav, you have to come on camera. Can you come on camera? Great. Okay, Pranav, your topic is conflict or concurrence? Conflict or concurrence?
Alexander the Great. How many of you would like to have a life like him? Anybody here? Audience or anybody online? Nobody? Then I must say that there are some people who are not very courageous here. Well, if I had a life, I wanted to be Alexander the Great, because was there any bound for him? He was one of the greatest emperors of the Greece, and he came across from the Greece to India to actually conquer India. And for that, he had to put up a lot of effort, lot of conflict. Friends, there are a lot of opportunities for us in life to be in midst of conflict, but most of them always shy away from that conflict. We don't want to be conquerors. We run away from that. Take me for example, or take you for example. Most of us are here, come here to improve our impromptu speak. But in our mind, there is always a conflict. If we go to the stage and speak, are we going to become a mockery? Or are we going to faint there because we have a stomach problem or a fear in our mind? But remember, the people who you are, the audience around you, they want you to actually come up in life. They want you to actually come up and speak up and actually influence them in some way. So remember, put up a great conquest, and then all the conflicts which come into your mind, they will wean away. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you so much, Pranav. Okay, for the next topic, let's have someone from the room. DTM Nancy. People or processes? People or processes?
People or processes? This is more like a choice that I generally choose during my lifetime as well. Why would I say so? One of the things that we know, another thing that we don't know. How can we choose or make a decision regarding something that we don't know? That's what we go about. Here, if I have to tell you whether I'll choose people or processes, I would rather say I'll choose the not option. I would rather go with myself. I would like to assess what I know. I would like to assess the facts. I would like to go with the statements that I already understand. Based on my experience, my understanding, my know-how, I would like to go ahead with my decisions to make a choice. And that's what I think we should go ahead with. But I'm not here to preach any one of you. I'm just here to tell you what I would like to go ahead with. And that's my choice. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so again, back to the online world, Toastmaster Ratan. Can I give you the next topic, please?
Yes, Toastmaster Saurabh. I hope I'm audible.
You are perfectly audible.
Okay, thanks.
Competition or collaboration? Competition or collaboration?
Collaboration has got a Hindi word to it, and that word is a combination of competition and working together, and that is Jugalbandi. So it is important that the team that works together have individual differences. If you look at a fruit salad has got different kinds of fruits. Some are tangy, some are sweet, some are bland. But what gives the fruit salad its flavor is the fact that they do not contradict each other, but they blend beautifully and leave a unique taste in the mouth. Hence, in the fruit salad, it is the syrup of unity, of gelling together that really brings the flavor. And collaboration is the key in today's world, I believe. Competition is important, and competition itself is a game of collaboration. That's what I think. So for me, it's definitely collaboration. Back to you, Toastmaster sir.
Toastmaster Ratan. May I have you, sir, for the next topic? May I have your name? Vivek. Vivek. Okay. So your topic is facts or feelings? Facts or feelings? First of all.
Facts or feelings. So thank you, Mr. Table Topic Master. I'll go with the facts. So I might look very cruel-hearted for saying that, but the thing is that beneath the facts, there will be feelings. So this looks something very surprising. When I put facts in the forefront, I put the very important reason why we evolved as humans. So just not to make it a bit more technical, we have something called in our brain, which none of these animals have, and that is called your neocortex. So neocortex is something that we as a humans, we as a sapiens have been blessed with. And this is one thing which differentiates us from all the other 99.99% living beings on this planet. And it is because of that only that we are where we are right now. So I would say that because our table topic master has said that we cannot use and, though I would have loved to use that. So I'll use or, and because there's an X on my neck, so I'll go with the facts, because if I go with the feelings, that will be going full circle back. So that will be a clear demonstration that we as sapiens are doing things the way things should be done. And if we do things on the basis of feelings, then a lot of things will collapse. Like our judiciary will collapse, our traffic lights will collapse. So the person will say that I was very sad, that's why I was not able to control myself and cross the red light. But that is not going to be excuse for him. Our whole system is going to collapse. Just because I have a certain feeling that I should keep go on and talking on and on, I cannot do that, because I have to stop myself based on the fact that I have crossed the time limit once it is shown the red card, right? So I am under certain restrictions, and those restrictions make me a better man, and those restrictions also gives like you people also a platform. So now I am going to stop my feelings because the red card has come. So I'm going, and I'm going to respect the facts. Back to you.
Thank you, sir. Last two topics, one online, one offline, one in person. So for the online, may I invite, Toastmaster Aparna Raja. I had you in my mind. Can you come on camera, please, Aparna? Your topic is passion or purpose? Passion or purpose?
I'm a typical Bangalorean, which means I'm a software engineer, which means I am not a computer science engineer, but a different kind of an engineer who took up a software job because that was available in the market. Now, this is a story of a lot of Bangaloreans here, is what I've heard and seen. But let me tell you, 10 years into the job, I started thinking, what is my life's purpose? I'm not passionate about what I do at all. What am I doing with my life? Oh, I'm wasting it. I had panic attacks. I had anxiety attacks. And I felt like a heroine in my own story. And I said, quit it. Go after your passion. Go after something you love. And then that will bring the purpose to your life. Toastmasters, it's been 6 years since I took that plunge, since I resigned my job and went after my passion in order to find my purpose. But surprise, guess what? I realized the two of them need not have to be the same. Sorry about all those ikigai theories. They don't have to be the same. You could be passionate about something, like I'm passionate about Toastmasters, about speaking. But the minute I add a purpose and say, I want to earn from it, I lost the fun in it. I lost the excitement it brought to me. And I decided I'm going to separate the two. My purpose today is to fulfill my needs and take care of maybe a little bit of wants. But my passion is Toastmasters and speaking, communicating with people without any expectations whatsoever. That is exactly what I'm doing here with everyone present. My passion drives my purpose, but not necessarily the other way around. So Toastmaster, DTM, Saurabh Datta, why should it be one of the two? It can be both, and both of them can be on two sides of your life. That is it for me, and back to you.
Thank you so much. And the last topic of the day for this, it's a homonym, so I'm going to give this out so that it's easier for the speaker to understand. Can we have DTM promote? So your topic is further or farther? Thank you.
Further or farther? Well, if I had taken the first one, the further, seriously, I would have actually been a DTM. I'm not a DTM because I believe in farther. I choose farther because it's far more convenient and easier to run farther. Whenever my Vice President Education gives me a goal to do, I run farther away from it. I run as fast as I can. I don't want to be anywhere near the responsibility. And, you know, my late father used to tell me that one of the most remarkable things about me, his son, is that I always shirk from responsibility. And in fact, one thing that I remember very distinctly that he told me was that you are a citizen not of India, you are a citizen of a nation called procrastination. And that actually is absolutely true, because I believe in this dictum. Why put off till tomorrow? You can actually do day after tomorrow. So I keep running, I've kept running all my life, and that is the secret of my success. Why do I call it a success? All the DTMs in this room have actually worked hard to become DTMs. I did not work hard, I kept on running, and still people think I'm a DTM. So over to you, sir.
Good one.
Oops, sorry.
Thank you so much. Any idea why did I select these topics? Teamwork makes dream work. But for the team to work, we need to make decisions. It is very easy to make a decision whether to attend a meeting online or in person if the meeting is at 10 a.m. and I'm waking up at 9:55. Right? You don't say, I decided to do it online today. You had no choice. Right? But when we are forming a team is not a collection of individuals. For bringing the team together through trust, togetherness, transparency, we need to make these decisions. Innovation or inclusion, passion or purpose, facts or feelings. At that point of time, if we are making the right decision, then the team will be formed. Probably tomorrow the decision may be wrong, but with all honesty, all authenticity, we make that decision, only then a team is formed. So the onus as leaders on all of us, because Toastmaster is where leaders are made, is to make the right decisions, even when both options look equally viable. And that's why I said, take a stand, because sometimes both looks right, but only one is right. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Table Topic Master. So now we move on to the third segment of our meeting today, and that is evaluation. It's one of the most important sessions. So our general evaluator, can I please call upon our general evaluator to take it from here?
Thank you so much, TM Modi. Let's quickly move on to this section wherein we have the prepared speakers being evaluated by the respective evaluators. The first speaker was Toastmaster Karthik, being evaluated by our online evaluator Bitasta. Can I have you online and you give the evaluation, please?
Sir, I think for the first speaker, I need to evaluate Asim.
So, my apologies. DTM Asim Purohit, please go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. And the speaker, Karthik in particular. Karthik, what a lovely speech you delivered. Right from the word go, I think those three words, elections, 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 caught our attention, particularly mine. And you had right through your speech that interest going in the form of multiple things that you did as part of your speech, whether it was to do with having the right kind of gestures and vocal variety to sustain that interest, or it was a very careful wordplay that you had during your speech. Things like golden placed hearts, man of deeds and not a man of words, and things like that. I think that kept the story that you were trying to communicate to us very interesting. I also like the fact that you did involve audience during your story, and that speaks volumes about the speaker, because I think it's a good way to ensure that they're on the same wavelength as you. And I think that came through very well. I also liked that you had a message in the speech. At times we deliver speeches, but we forget to really build it on a message, something that has take-home value for the audience. And I think today you ensured that it had that take-home value in the form of, pushing somebody out of his comfort zone and then really helping him become better, which is what your friend Tejraj did. Okay. It had all the ingredients of a successful story. And I think it really panned out like that. But a few suggestions from my end, few recommendations that you can look at to make stories better next time around. Okay, one is the characters itself. I think you had Tejraj as one of the characters in your story. But for a speech of about 5 to 7 minutes, I think a couple of more characters would have most certainly helped. Now, one of the characters then perhaps you could have had is somebody like election officer. Okay, and you could have named him something. So then, there would have been another character that audience may have dealt with. Okay, so one suggestion is about the character itself, because I do feel that, the relationship between the story and the characters is symbiotic. Okay, and both cannot coexist. Both cannot exist without each other, right? So that's the reason why importance of the building a few more characters there. The second suggestion is about building a bit of suspense. Okay, of course, this story was about elections, and of course, you eventually won. But as audience, we had an inkling that you are going to win. As far as that election is concerned. So if you can just build a suspense around that, it can really go a long way in terms of making the story interesting. All in all, I do feel it was very, very great to listen to you, and I wish you all the best for your future speeches.
Give him a big round of applause. While I agree with everything that he said, I have to add two things that evaluator DTM Asim could have mentioned. One is the curiosity of the whole story. You could have heightened it a little more so that we all feel that now is the time when there has to be a cure. You should make us wait. Where is the cure in the story for the character to, change? That one thing. Second thing is, many of us here have not heard his past speeches, but to tell you all, I felt a little bit of humor was missing. You always put in a lot of humor into your speeches, but today I felt that was missing. Maybe you didn't want it to include it, but if you had included it, the character would have come in life, actually. Thank you so much. Give both of them a big round of applause. Now, let me call upon the second evaluator, Toastmaster Aparna, to evaluate the second speaker. Over to you, Toastmaster Aparna.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster. Toastmaster Arun, second step. I believe this was a wonderful way to deliver a speech on self-belief, which is the core of motivations, which happens to be your path. So I think using a term like second step was very innovative instead of just saying something mundane like self-belief. Kudos to you for that. Now, the project was connect with storytelling. And one of the biggest aspects of connection is the audience. You have to simply connect with the audience. And I think that was the best part of your speech today. From the word go, you had 3 questions for the audience. Have you done something for the first time? Have you failed in doing it? And things like that. Have you tried doing it a second time? How impactful. You didn't have 1, but 3 questions, which was like hitting a nail on its head 3 times. You drove home the point very clearly. And I think that was a fabulous start. You connected extremely well right at the start. And 1 minute into the speech, you had this wonderful example of 1 to the power of something, and then again 1.01 to the power of something else. Now, this is an example we've all heard. It's nothing very innovative, but what was innovative here is you asked us to pull out our calculators and do it. When you got the audience involved in that little activity and you said 37 times is how much it is going to impact, it was a wow impact because we were involved. You didn't just tell us verbally. Beautifully done. A smart move. Can be a little tricky because you were involving the audience, but I think you executed it really well. Now, quickly moving on to the recommendations. Now, as much as you connected very well with the audience, the primary focus was to connect with the story. Yes, you had 3 to 4 stories, one with Abraham Lincoln and then the Starbucks story, and finally you ended with your own story. All very well done. Kudos. However, barring the first story, the Abraham Lincoln, the other 2 I felt were more narration or just, stating an example. It wasn't exactly an anecdote. Why I say that, let me tell you. A story essentially is a sequence of events with a climax, no matter how small. We want a sequence of events and something happens, a concrete stop. The first story you told us about Abraham, this young man who failed and failed and failed, and finally he became the president of the United States. Okay, good, great, good story, very motivational. The second one, when you spoke to us about Starbucks, the Starbucks instance, and you said, I think Howard, you mentioned, you told us, how many times he went to the bank? 252 times, right? So the surprise was gone. The story element was gone. Had you turned it around, juxtaposed the events and told us in a little slightly better manner and said, there was this young man and he went and he did all of this. And today, all of us have his innovation in our hands or something like that. Now, that's a story. So I'm just saying, try to understand how an event or just an example can be transformed into a story. It needs to have a natural start and an end, no matter how big or how small. So that was missing in the second and the third story, your own story as well. You said, I'm an example. How? You could have dwelled.
Some internet.
I think a good speech. Very well done. However, I just wish there was more story in it because it is a connect with the audience with storytelling. But otherwise, beautifully done. Back to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I have also written here in bold, wow. You started with that wow, which Aparna highlighted, Toastmaster Aparna highlighted about in her evaluation. And I also agree with her about the surprise element, which was once there and was not there again. Curiosity needs to be there in the story. I actually emphasize on that, which I said earlier also. To add to what Aparna said, there's one thing I felt which the evaluator could have pointed out was in stories, if there is a big takeaway, I think in the end, you should take some time to hammer continuously on that takeaway. You should have emphasized a little more on what could have, why is that takeaway important for the audience, except for that one. Thank you, Toastmaster Aparna, the evaluator, and the speaker. Give them both a big round of applause. So we had an online speaker and an online evaluator. So over to you, the evaluator number 3 for speaker number 3. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nagesh. Hi, Dhwani. You have delivered a very well organized speech. I love the fact that it had very clear 3 different parts, a good introduction, a body with your experience, pros and cons, and a conclusion. The best part about your introduction was you started with a little bit of generic information about mentoring, and then you started with a question that engaged us instantly. And then you started to share your experience as a mentor, as your about your mentee, and with very details, with personal touch, you have shared it. The areas that I would love you to work upon would be the voice modulation, because there were a lot of experience about your mentee when you gave her the baby steps, when you told her, asked her to start with certain roles and then start delivering speech. So there you share a lot of personal feeling, and there you could have added more expression. So voice modulation with different pitch, sharing some good experience, sharing some bad experience, that would have been great and more captivating. I also would like to say, so you have shared the good side of what you learned as a mentor, how you helped. I would also, you have also shared what were the areas that you have learned as a mentor in terms of setting a goal and communicating that goal. That was really good. maybe if you would have shared something more about your mentoring side, apart from the mentee's experience, I would have loved to hear that as well. The conclusion was also great, but it would have been greater if you would have shooted or shared another quote or a question. That way it would have been ended perfectly. So overall, a great structured speech, your vocal variety, your eye contact, your confidence, comfortable were amazing. The only thing to work upon would be modulation, expression, different pitch, and little bit of more interactive tools such as questions or quotes. That would have been great. Thank you so much, Dhwani. All the best. Back to you, General Evaluator Nagesh.
Thank you so much. Well said about the mentor and the mentee details. I agree with you saying that mentor and mentee relationship is a two-way street. Had I heard a little more about the mentor, what she did, how did she feel about from the mentee side, it would have been better, Dhwani. One more thing that I observed as an audience from the speaker was, like a school teacher, I'll come here to show. Both the hands in the same rhythm, talking, giving the speech in that fashion. You need to work on that a little bit, Toastmaster Dhwani. Rather than that, can we give them a big round of applause? I have something to say about the fourth speaker, but I will keep it for the last. Let me start with Sergeant at Arms. Do I need to say what I need to say? But beyond that, I want to add few things about Sergeant at Arms 1+1 that you can improve. Enthusiasm is something that you need to start with. I felt that you need to improve there a little bit, but your introduction about the Toastmaster, the Mukund Joshi, the president of the club, was wonderfully done. Give her a big round of applause. Second, on the presiding officer, 1+1 minus about you. A great way of introducing the TMOD again. I think you have polished your work as giving intros very well. You talked about him so well that I'm not going to forget about his details. That is one thing. Secondly, I liked you made, since it's a linkers meet, you made every one of us to introduce ourselves so that we get to know about one another. That was wonderfully done as a president of the club. Thank you so much there. Thirdly, there were few guests. You called them, but they didn't respond. So that was, I think you should have waited. There was one person who unmuted and was about to speak, but you moved on. So just be a little careful about it. With that, give the president a great applause. Quickly, I'll move on to the table topic master. I was a little disappointed. I had written 3 points here, which I expected from the table topic master. I wanted the topics to be very short, ticked. Second, I wanted it to be innovative, checked. I wanted him to talk about 2 cents after each speaker. That was not ticked. So I was a little disappointed. However, I had few more dashes in the last. I had said summarize. He did do that very well, where that unchecked box is fully checked. Thank you so much, table topic master, for wonderfully giving us those topics which are connected to the theme of the meeting. And if I look at all of them, I was also underlining which one should I talk about if I have to talk about that. Thank you so much. Wonderful table topic sessions. And nobody showed you a red card, but still you stopped at the right time in your session. Thank you so much. One more round of applause for him. Coming to TMOD, 2 things I liked very well. First one is, generally people don't talk about the AI tool in the TMOD sessions. When you started your session, you talked about Udly, which is connected to public speaking skills. Hammering that in every meeting helps, because a lot of us, we know that the tool is available, but we don't use it effectively. We all should start using it effectively. Very well done. I request everybody who takes the TMOD role to, use that. Secondly, what I liked was you coined a new word. What was that? Mompreneur. Mompreneur. So it was a combination word. She was a mom and an entrepreneur. So very well done there on the feet. I like that. These two things I liked in your TMOD address. One thing that you can still improve is calling out the titles of all the speakers so that we are prepared as to what we are going to listen about the speaker. With that, give him a big round of applause. I think I've completed all of them except the tag L roles. Before that, I will like to talk about the fourth speaker. Though there is no evaluation, sir, but out of my gratitude for having you heard here today wonderfully, I want to talk about two things. One is, can I, after a month, grow a beard, look like you with the same attire, stand here and give that story? I cannot. What stands well with you as a storyteller is the voice that you carried, the tone that you carried, and the rhythm with which you gave us those two stories. One about the old monk and the great Oriental circus. That was very wonderfully done. Storytelling is all about how you use your voice and the micro expressions. This is what I thought I will talk to you about. And thirdly, body speaks a lot. When you come on the stage, body speaks a lot. And he didn't use the entire stage or the entire body, his face gave that story to all of us. Give him a big round of applause. Now I request our timer, Toastmaster Nadeem, to come and give the report.
Hello, everyone. So I have the timer's report with me. For prepared speeches, speaker number 1, Karthik, has taken 6 minutes, 30 seconds. And the evaluator, Asim, has taken 3 minutes, 20 seconds for the evaluation. Speaker number 2, Arun, took 6 minutes, 22 seconds. And the evaluator, Aparna, has taken 3 minutes, 30 seconds. Speaker number 3, Dhwani, took 6 minutes, 31 seconds. And the evaluator, Vitasta, took 2 minutes, 30 seconds. And for table topic, everybody is qualified. They are within the time limit. Everybody have spoken more than a minute and within 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Yeah, this is my report back.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nadeem. One important thing about time is we start on time, we end on time. However, a special meeting like this, I think, in my personal opinion, that if we are slightly late, it's okay, because we need a wonderful experience also that we all take back home. Second, can I call upon our counter DTM Nancy for her report?
I've got quite a comprehensive report. I'll go in the order, the way speakers were coming on stage. Toastmaster Priyanka as essay, she used very twice. Most of her sentences were beginning with so we do this, so we will do this. She used once. Toastmaster Mukund as presiding officer, I think. His sentences were beginning with I think, which in my opinion can be replaced with in my opinion, or per my cognizance. He used and once. Then we had a couple of speakers who, not speakers, rather people who introduced themselves. Shiva used and once. Nagesh, Toastmaster Nagesh used and back to you. Once while speaking, introducing yourself. Toastmaster Utkarsh, he began all his sentences with and while introducing himself, which was not required. Thrice he used. Then Toastmaster Dhwani followed Toastmaster Utkarsh and she used the word and to begin her sentences. Then we had Ratan, that was used once. So my name is Ratan, used once. So was not required. Then we had our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Shiva. As Toastmaster of the day, he had used quite a number of hours. He also used and as a crutch word to begin his sentences. One interesting time, he said, and so also. 3 conjunctions in one word, in one sentence. Not required. You can either use and, so, or also to begin your sentence. Then we had Toastmaster Asim. He came up on stage and he used thrice. We had Toastmaster Karthik, our first speaker. He used like as his crutch word, and so, and so. Most of his sentences were beginning either with and or with so. I'll not mention much about and, but two particular instances when he used and thrice. And what did he gain? And I wanted to say more. This was not required, but he used please, please, please. At this point in time, this time it worked because he was trying to emphasize more on please part, and he wanted us to know that this is what was more important. So repeating a word to emphasize something works. Then he also used very, very short. In case something is very, very short, you can say extremely short. While introducing the second speaker's project objectives, Toastmaster Aparna used right. This was not required. It was a crutch word. Why? Because when you are stating a statement, that's right in itself. You don't need to ask audience for affirmation on the same. Then we had our second speaker. I have noticed a lot of good points for our second speaker, Toastmaster Arun. Any answers? Perfect pause there. Isn't it wonderful? Perfect pause yet again. He used anaphora when he repeated the same sentence twice. If he had stopped, if he had not perceived, repeating these few words, if he had, it's adding more flavor to his speech. So this kind of repetition is called anaphora, and it was used perfectly there. 9.58 seconds. Pause. It was right, appropriate for us as audience to digest the fact. He had clarity of speech in his voice. He used twice when he was forgetting the word. Rest everything was on point. Then we had third speaker. Third evaluator didn't use any R's or Ums while introducing the project objectives. So third speaker actually used once. So at first, again, so was not required. Then again, once she used up and above, same mistake. When she was forgetting something, she was using She could have paused there slightly to remember what she wanted to say. She used once. She was also repeating certain phrases, not because she was using anaphora, but she was forgetting something. She used to think, she used to be. She just wanted to say, she used to be. She used to think was not required in her speech. She had clarity of speech. One important point in Toastmaster Dhwani's speech, she began her sentences with appropriate phrases. To top it all, I wanted to tell you this. At times, we forget. So these kind of phrases add more flavor to your sentences. Next, we had our educational speaker, our storyteller, Toastmaster Pramod. When he began introducing himself, so my name is Pramod. That so was not required. He had one so and two knows. Then one repetition, I tried to. As table topic speaker, he had more ahs and ums and you knows, but we can still discount those. His crutch word was actually. He used actually twice or thrice in one sentence, which was not required. Then we had our table topic master, Saurav Datta. My name is Saurav, is not required. This is something we can be very confident with. But since he used and twice, so once, and 3 times, he used right twice, which was required. Why? Because he was asking for everyone's opinion. When we are asking for everyone's opinion, do we sleep late at night? Right? We all do. That time, right is appropriate. But when we are stating the fact, that time, right is not appropriate to ask from the audience. I know it's a little boring to hear this report, but I've made note of 5 pages, 2 more left. Bitasta, Toastmaster Bitasta, she used thrice. Toastmaster Dilip, twice and so once. Toastmaster Pranav, he had no filler words, but he used anaphoras. They would actually want to. They would actually want to do this. But actually was his crutch word. Nancy, she also used anaphora twice. I would like to, no, thrice. I would like to state this. I would like to tell you this. I would like to mention this to emphasize more on her opinion. She also used pauses to think. Some of them were long pauses, not required. Then we had Ratan. I'm not sure whether he's a Toastmaster. I missed that part. He had no filler words. One good thing about his speech was he was slow in his pace. That's where he was able to curb all the filler words that we generally do. So kudos to Ratan. Then we had Toastmaster Vivek, very important. Very is not required. He used so multiple times. And because coming together in one sentence, not required. Judiciary will collapse, traffic lights will collapse, whole system will collapse. Another use of anaphora here. We had Toastmaster Parna as table topic speaker, which means I am this, which means I am that, anaphora again. I had panic attacks, I had anxiety attacks, anaphora again. What I loved about her speech, surprise. This dragged surprise part was more to emphasize on the word and to grab our attention. So this was not a dragged word, rather it was more to grab attention. Perfectly used there. She used R twice during evaluation. Toastmaster Nagesh as general evaluator, multiple R's. I'll not mention the count here. You should, you should, you should. He was fumbling a bit with this word. He used it twice. And you know he used twice here. Toastmaster Asim, you know, right kind of gestures. He used you know twice like this. Ours, number of hours were more than 5. Very, very great. I know he wants to emphasize this, but we can use some other words here as well. Toastmaster Bitasta, no hours and ohms previously, but during evaluation, 8 hours and 2 ohms. Toastmaster Nadeem, no fillers at all. As timer for the meeting today, no fillers during your report. In case anyone is noting down my hours, ohms, and filler words, please share the report with me. With this, my counter's report is over. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you.
Huh?
Hope all 5 pages are over. Thank you so much for that detailed report. Can I now have the grammarian report from Varun?
Thank you, everyone. I was a little disappointed as the grammarian because the word for the day was only used by 2 others other than me, Bitasta and Asim, both online participants. No one in the room was able to use it. Some of the good usages that I noted down were talent wins games, teamwork wins championships, the sum is greater than the parts. If you want to walk fast, walk alone, walk far, walk together. believed in me more than me in myself, or believed more in me than me in myself, turned the tables of the elections, man of words, not a man of deeds, or man of deeds, not a man of words. Definition of riches is the people in my life. Truth of, oh, this was very profound. Truth of life, it is short. Patience and perseverance, frustration, disappointment, and failures, monument and milestone. Start by taking baby steps, excellent and exponential. What if bubble? Time, patience, motivation, plus guidance. Mentorship is a two-way street. Bartender is like a psychoanalyst. Jaunty, erect, and sure of himself. Had the unenviable task. Quiet confidence that he exuded. Treasure your freedom. Beautiful shimmering purple dress. Impromptu speaking to save our jobs and our relationships. Citizen of a nation is called procrastination, or citizen of a nation called procrastination. For the team to work, we need to make decisions, hitting the nail on the head to drive the point home, and juxtapose the events. Some of the poor usages. Greatest of all times is greatest, should be greatest of all time. Faith on me should be faith in me. Me and my friend should be my friend and I. Want us to be a succeeded should be want us to be successful. One of the greatest precedent, it should be one of the greatest precedents. And this is just a nuance of the Indian accent, but I still want to point it out because the rest of the speech was perfect. It's not comfortable, it should be comfortable. And also content in this context should have been content. For example, I am content with your content. And that's my report.
Thank you so much. And we have the last listeners role. Over to you. Few questions, one or two, and we wrap. I won't take much time, I promise.
So as a parliamentarian, there were no issues with the proceedings. Nobody spoke about sex, politics, and religion. Thank you, God. So now to test the listening skills, right? What was the deadline for Karthik to file his nominations? 2:30 p.m. 2:30 p.m. is the right time. Elections were at 4. Yeah. So what are the two requirements that Arun Kota mentioned is required for someone to survive in a startup environment? Two requirements. You are disallowed from this. You are not going to say this again. It's a Dhwani's mentee was troubled by some bubble before she used to take up roles or give speeches. What bubble was that? Come on, guys. Varun mentioned it even in the... Huh? What if bubble? Correct. Right? How many years of his life did Pramod Shankar spend as a bartender? Okay. What was the name of the baby elephant? Ananda. There is an I in that name. That's right. Okay, last question. How many banks did the Starbucks promoter reach out to get a loan? Two. That's right. Thank you. I'm back.
With that, we come to the end of the general evaluation session. I quickly hand it over to TM Modi today.
Thank you, Nagesh Ramamurthy, Toastmasters General Evaluator. So now we come to the end of the wonderful session. And sorry for that. So we come to the end of a symbiotic session meeting. Please note that. So I have used the word of the day. And so before we roll on the polls, I would like to call upon the presiding officer of the day to take it from here. And thank you for giving me an opportunity. to be the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, for that wonderful session. Please, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the Toastmaster of the Day for taking us through this session. A big round of applause, please. Today, for the polls, we would like to go back to Stone Age. I know we are all in Bangalore city. I know here you throw a stone, you either hits a stray dog or a computer engineer. But we will go back to our old Smedlian days where we used to paper and pen to cast a ballot, right? So I have a list of ballots. I would request you to spend a minute or so and give and vote for your best speaker, best. Yeah, so what I was, I'll just select it. Okay, so people online, please excuse us this one time. Some of the issues with the hybrid meeting. The polls will be taken only by the in-person attendees because we need to do some exercise to actually launch the polls in the Teams. So that's going to take some time. So instead, we will just have the polls run by the in-person guys. I hope that's okay. I borrowed your pen, sir. So please take a minute and launch your polls and give it back to Shiva. Pramod is not included in the, no, Pramod is not. Yeah. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. Yeah, so so there are around 6 of them, sorry, 5 of them here. Huh? Yeah, so all the online attendees, that's Utkarsh and Vitasta. Can you please WhatsApp who are your, you know who the questions, right? The best speaker, the best evaluator, the best tag player, the best role taker. So these are the 4 categories. So please just give us your poll in the group. Yeah, Utkarsh, do you have, are you part of the group? I think I included you if I'm not mistaken. You're on mute if you're speaking. Okay, it's just Vitasta. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, while the ballots is being counted, right? First of all, I would again thank the Gabbies for making it here, both online and offline in-person attendees. Really, heartfelt gratitude for you people to agree for this linkers meeting and come all the way over here to attend this meeting. We in Smedley's learned a lot from you people. That is for sure. I hope it was the same with you as well. So thank you again for this. Let's give a round of applause for the Gabbies. Right. So it'll take a little more minute. I had a thought when DTM Nancy was giving her R-counter report. And I remembered a sentence where I used a conjunction 3 times in a sentence, coming one after the other. Let me tickle your brains. Can you guys think what that sentence could be? That's again you. Yeah, come on, go ahead, Varun. I'm just joking.
In the beginning of the sentence, it's okay to use because with the conjunction.
Let's hear it. Okay, the sentence that I was going to say is, you cannot start a sentence with the word because is a conjunction. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, so, and one more thing is coming up. One of the persons here in this group has agreed to give an education session in one of our coming meetings. So we will announce that name and date at a later point in time. So it's something that we all need to look forward to for that education session that's going to happen. So, and by the way, for all of you to know, we have 2 hybrid meetings in a month, the first Sunday and the third Sunday. So this is when we have our hybrid meeting. So please feel free to drop in on these 2 Sundays anytime you want. And I don't want to be sounding very salesy out here, but in case if you know any new members who want to be part of the Toastmasters and who want to spend their Sunday in a much more fruitful way, at least the first half of Sunday, please refer them to us. We will reach out to them and see if they can become members of Smedley Speaker Society. Yeah. So that is what I had today. And there is one more round that we do, which is called What's the Buzz session, right? In this session, what we do is people who want to share anything that has happened in their personal lives, in their professional lives, in the past week or 2 weeks, then they can come and do so. They have around 30 seconds to just tell us about that. Anybody wants to volunteer? Yeah, Dilip. 30 seconds. Yep. You'll have to come here.
The previous week I was traveling in a train. I was taking my mother for a surgery, but incidentally, the person sitting next to me was like E.V. Sridharan. You know him, Metro Man. So I was like shocked. Was traveling from Calicut to Ernakulam, so I was able to spend at least 3-4 hours with him. So it was wonderful. So he was. We can literally see how methodical he is. Like, he had a printout of the whole journey and he's checking, because it belongs to the train world, right? So he's checking it is going on time or whatever. So we have everything checked. Even he helped me, okay, don't get down here. Get on this point, that is better close to the place you're going and all that. Wonderful experience.
Thank you. Thanks, Dilip. Anybody else? No? Okay, all right. That's good. So we are almost there. Just a few more ballots to be counted, and then. So in the meantime, can I request some of the Gabby's members to tell us about your experience on what better we can do in these kind of meetings? Maybe start off with DTM Nancy. Do you want to give a 30-second feedback?
Okay, more than a feedback regarding what can be done better, I would rather say hybrid setups are really difficult to put together. And the kind of hiccups we had today, it was just one hiccup. And for that, we had a tea break. That was managed so well that I'm utterly impressed with the entire experience. And I really, really loved being here. I used really twice here. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Let's hear it for GTM Nancy. Saurav, would you like to give your feedback? Okay, Nagesh sir, please.
I think I have attended, I'm in Toastmasters not more than 3 years now, but I have attended more offline meeting than online meetings. Strange, right? Yes, you heard me right. I have attended more offline meetings than online meetings. And in offline meetings, hiccups are something which are bound to happen. One. Secondly, my Toastmaster friend Vivek Mishra knows no meeting ends on time. I'm a project management professional. We always start late, any project, and we never finish on time. All projects are like that because the journey of the projects is more important than the destination. So I would say this hybrid meeting, I think this is the third meeting that I'm attending as a linkers meet. Linkers meeting are always fun and very good. Arun Kota, Toastmaster Arun Kota, we have not spoken to each other. We have never conversed on WhatsApp also each other, but he knows me, I know him. We have met here for the first time. We know each other for a different cause. And this is how linkers meet helps, get to know each other, make bigger associations, and take some friendship for life. I feel this should be more often across different clubs. That was my two cents. Over to you, Mr.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Nagar. Okay, here comes the results. Drum rolls, please. The best role taker goes to none other than DTM Saurav Datta. No, that's okay. I can just all right, okay. The best table topics goes to none other than Mr. Pramod Shankar. The best tag is shared by two people. The first one is Toastmaster Varun, and it is shared by DTM Nancy. And now for the most important part, the best speaker and the best evaluator. So the best speaker, ladies and gentlemen, goes to Mr. Arun Kota. And the best evaluator goes to Aparna Raja. Okay, thank you very much. So that was the meeting today. Sorry, we started very late. We are ending very late, but then that's how hybrid meetings happen. Luckily, we didn't have much of a technical glitch. Whatever happened was kind of a little bit of oversightedness, or we didn't pay attention to some small details of switching on the power button. So that's the reason it happened. But otherwise, a technical glitch-free session we had. I thank you all for making it. And anytime, please drop in either online or offline to our Toastmasters meeting. With this, I close meeting number 875. Sorry? Oh, yeah, let's have a group photo, please. If that's okay. Yeah.